8:15 is the time now. Welcome back. When college students go back to school, things like pizza, chips, fast food, often the staples of their diet. I was one of those. But those unhealthy habits actually can lead to some serious health problems down the line.
Yeah, we're joined this morning by dietitian Julie Feldman to give students some ways to avoid falling into that trap of living off of junk food. Good morning to you, Julie.
Good morning.
So nice to always have you here.
Thank you.
You know, we hear about that dreaded freshman 15.
Yes.
I know. I think I had the freshman about 17.
Right. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't
and
pretty
it was
for me.
all that late night pizza for me, but you hear about this a lot, don't you?
I do. I see it all the time with my clients who I've had through high school and they go off to college. It's a term that we've been using actually. I looked it up since 1989. It was on the cover of 17 magazine, the freshman 15.
That's when it was started.
Yeah, that's when it was started. And it's somewhat of a myth in terms of how much weight people actually gain, but it is the first time that kids have to make decisions on their own with regard to food, and more importantly that they need to plan ahead for what they're going to have.
Well, you've brought some options here today. Let's talk about it.
I did. So one thing just to think about is just to be positive about this. I hear all the time from people that, you know, going in, they're just really anxious about it, and it causes all sorts of sort of disordered eating patterns and things like that.
Right.
So positive is important. Planning, I would say, is a second thing that you really have to focus on. So I brought a bunch of things to sort of stock your fridge and to help you to be sort of reasonable in terms of the choices that you make on a regular basis.
Yeah, so these are mini fridge items here for the dorm room that you recommend?
Exactly. So, you know, there are lots of different options. Like these are the little packages of guacamole. It's good to sort of think about choosing things that have whole grains and good sources of protein and healthy fat. So certainly that would be a good option for healthy fat selection. And, you know, having little packages of vegetables and things that you can grab and take with you on the go are hugely important. I also think it's important to plan for things that you know are things that you enjoy, but maybe you have to just sort of be careful with portion size.
Like
so
pizza.
Yeah, you know, you're not going to say don't eat pizza, or you're not going to say don't drink pop, for example, but think ahead, you know, think, okay, if I have a slice of pizza, that might be okay. Or if I have something like this mini can of Coke, it's still Coke, but it's a portion-controlled serving size. So you're still having the things that you like, and you're able to sort of stick with it.
And you have some yogurts here.
Yogurt, cottage cheese. Those are easy sources of protein that you can really take with you and eat on the go. I even like these already little hard-boiled eggs. So it's simple, and those are great. Something like these Kind bars, which are fantastic, and they're whole sources of nuts with spices that provide a good source of protein and fiber, so it's a really good on-the-go choice.
I have to ask you, the biggest temptation for me actually was the dining hall. I never thought that, you know, you think, ooh, school food won't be good, but in college, the dining hall's buffet,
because they have everything.
it's out of this world.
They even have more now than they used to have.
So what do kids do?
Well, I have the iPad here because you can look up the nutrition information for almost every dining hall at any university across the country. So it's really good to be educated about the choices. You can look ahead and see what they're offering that night. Many of the universities also label the nutrition information and which things are considered heart-healthy choices.
But when they're actually there and it's in front of them, what's the strategy to
resist
the temptation?
I always think Sunday at 10 a.m.
I always think it's a good idea to take a full view of everything that's available and then make a choice. And I'm always looking to include fresh fruits and vegetables and a good source of protein. And if you can do that every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day, you're less likely to binge later on in the evening on all this sort of stuff that we like to have.
And like you talked about, just portion control, when it's so easily packaged like this and you don't have to do it yourself, I bet that really helps in between classes too.
I think it does, absolutely. And kids tend to get into trouble when they don't eat, for 8-9 hours.
No
and then
doubt.
it's just the stress and anxiety of the day.
That large pizza.
Binge eating, all that stuff. Julie Feldman,
or the 99 pack of beer.
I know. Well, we won't encourage that. So, Julie Feldman, thank you so much. A dietitian who's come here before. We really appreciate your input.
Thank you so much.